Hi, from Miami, Florida.
Bienvenidos a Miami, Florida.
And welcome to this year's Honorary Awards.
Welcome to this year's Honorary Award.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Left, 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 all right.
Please take your seats. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome once again to the 2022 Honorary Awards. My name is Bernard Settles. I'm the Uniform Advisor at TSA Headquarters for Security Operations, and I will be one of your Masters of Ceremonies for today's event. Along with me is Tanisha Barker, Eric Guthier, and Stephen Bird. The Honorary Award ceremony is an annual tradition when we pause to recognize the hard work, dedication, and outstanding performance of our workforce. Today, we recognize more than 600 individuals for their exceptional achievements. Before we get started, I would like to ask the TSA Honorary Awards planning team and volunteers to stand. I'd like to thank them for their hard work and their time for making today's event a success. Thank you. You all may take your seats. At this time, please join me in welcoming to the podium TSA's senior official performing the duties of the Deputy Administrator, Stacey Fitzmaurice.
All right, good afternoon and welcome to this year's TSA Honorary Awards ceremony. I first want to say thank you to Tabitha for that wonderful rendition of the national anthem. And thanks. And I'd also like to say thank you to the DCA Color Guard, our Masters of Ceremonies, Bernard Settles, Tanisha Barker, Eric Guthier, and Stephen Bird for leading today's special event. In addition, I want to extend my great appreciation to the Strategic Communications and Public Affairs, as well as the Human Capital teams, for their partnership to plan this year's Honorary Awards ceremony, and to the evaluation teams who reviewed over 900 nominations, as well as all of you who took the time to nominate our award winners. Thank you so much. And I also want to thank each and every one who is part of the TSA family for your extraordinary professionalism and dedication every day you come to work to protect our nation's transportation systems and keep the traveling public safe. I have the privilege to open today's ceremony recognizing our employees whose talents, dedication, and professionalism represent TSA's very best and who have gone above and beyond the expected call of duty to carry out our agency's vital mission. Your continued commitment to our mission and to each other is essential to protecting our country and positioning TSA for success in the future. The threats against our nation's transportation systems continue to evolve, and our adversaries continue to adapt and to expand their tactics and methods. And that is why it is so very important for every one of us to continue to be resilient and to be adaptive in carrying out our mission to be able to mitigate all threats. All of you are critical part of TSA, and I want to thank you for your service to our country. And I want to be the first today to be able to congratulate the 652 employees that we are recognizing today. What an honor it is for me to be part of this celebration to recognize your extraordinary accomplishments. And I'm also very honored to work side by side with Administrator Pekoski and to represent and support each one of you who make up our talented and dedicated workforce. So it is now my pleasure to welcome to the podium TSA Administrator David Pekoski.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Stacy, thank you for the very kind introduction, and thank you, Stacy, for your service as our Deputy Administrator now for over 2 years. You've done a fantastic job, and I rely on Stacy's advice and counsel every single day. So, Stacy, I appreciate your work, and you are an honoree in my book every single day. As many of you know, this is the first time in 4 years that we've been able to have this ceremony in person. So, special recognition today for that opportunity to see faces and to be able to personally present all of the 652 honorary awards that we will present this afternoon. I also would echo Stacy's compliments to the Honor Guard at DCA Airport. Did a fantastic job. DCA Airport is our host. And Tabitha Massenberg, phenomenal every time she sings. In high demand here in the National Capital Region for the gift of voice and the gift of presence. So thank you so much for opening our ceremony in a way that few others could. So thank you for that. This particular site for the Transportation Security Administration is especially significant. This is where on November 19th of 2001, so just 69 days after 9/11, that President George W. Bush signed the Aviation and Transportation Security Act of 2001. That is the fundamental law that still to this day governs the Transportation Security Administration, gives us the authorities we need to do our job, and provides the guidelines within which we will provide the security for the transportation system. In person today, we have, I would say, between 400 and 500 people. This is the biggest crowd. We've worked in this venue many times because of its historical significance to TSA to figure out how we can fit more people in here. So 400 to 500 people in person. We've got a lot of people, as you can see in the cameras in front of me, watching this on YouTube, and it will be archived as well. So those that can't watch it in real time can watch it at their leisure. And I know a lot of people do take advantage of that opportunity to go back and look at this ceremony, because this is the premier ceremony where we can provide recognition to the 62,000 plus individuals that form TSA and the performance of their mission in not just aviation security, but in surface transportation security. We also have this year all of our senior leadership present for this ceremony. So we've got our senior leadership from the aviation sector, from the surface transportation sector, domestic and international. We are gathered for 4 days to look at the future of TSA and to ensure that we map out that future in a way that ensures that our mission can be performed ever better year after year, standing on a very strong foundation where we are today. It's also a good coincidence that this ceremony is being held during Public Service Recognition Week. So to all of you who perform public service, whether at the federal, state, local, tribal, territorial level, my thanks to all of you for the service that you perform. And then, coincidentally, it's also National Police Week. It's a week every year that we focus on blue. We want to make sure that our law enforcement officers at all levels of government are appropriately recognized, and we thank them for their service. I'd like to thank all of our federal air marshals, all of our criminal investigators, and all of the police officers in attendance today. I know we have some Metropolitan Washington Airport Authority police officers. We really appreciate your presence here, and we appreciate the presence of law enforcement throughout our security system in airports around the country. We have, when we present the awards today, and Stacy touched on this, these awards will recognize individual performance, they will recognize team performance, but for all of us, they also represent collective performance of this agency. I think that we have performed at an incredible level over the past year. If you just look at the past 4 years and look at what this country and what the Transportation Security Administration has been through, it is quite remarkable what we've been able to accomplish and how we've been able to make sure that this transportation system remains secure, not just from physical threats, but also now from cyber threats. And just to share a bit of a personal reflection, having had the privilege of conducting this ceremony for several years now, one of the things that always resonates with me, and it has throughout my entire federal career, is when you're standing next to a person that's being recognized on a national basis for work that they've done, or they represent a team, or you're standing with the team. It's incredibly humbling for me because I'm standing next to individuals that have really gone above and beyond the call, that have been identified by their own parent organization as being truly superb, and then have gone through a panel process here in headquarters so we can select the very best of some really pretty impressive recommendations that we get. So it's really proud for me to stand right alongside you. So for all of our award recipients, when you're coming up, know that myself, that Stacy, and everybody else in this audience is just humbled by your presence, and we want to make sure that we can recognize what you have done in an appropriate manner, because you represent the best in all of us. This is also an opportunity to reflect and commit, and I think that's important. We're going to be recognizing great performance. We're going to be talking about incredible deeds, and it's a good opportunity just to sit back and think a couple things. One is, wow, how great is it that I'm part of an organization that performs this noble mission of securing this transportation system, of making sure that 2.5 plus million passengers every single day are safe and secure in their air travel, and that our surface transportation systems are also safe and secure with hundreds of thousands to millions of passengers every single day. It's also an opportunity to reflect on each other, and we do this work together. We don't do it alone. We do it not just within our own agency, but we do it with all of our partners, not only domestically here in the United States, but internationally. And so as we go through this ceremony, I just ask you to think about that and think about, wow, how noble a mission we have, how well we perform it, and how well we do things together. Because really, in my view, that's what any member of the public, whether they're here in the United States or they're internationally, should expect of us. I mean, I mentioned this is Public Service Recognition Week. We are public servants, and our job is to do this mission, to do it especially well. And it's a real privilege for me to lead the TSA, and a true honor to participate in another one of our annual honorary award ceremonies, and many more to come. So I'm really looking forward to getting on with the recognition, and I thank all the folks that had a hand in putting this together. And I'd also would reflect on everybody in TSA that put a nomination forward. To me, that's a keen demonstration of commitment to our people, and that when you see great performance, you go through the work and the joy of putting a nomination forward and really encouraging continued high performance on the part of our team. So with that, let's get on with the presentation of awards. Thank you.
We now begin our awards presentation. Although each winner is deserving of our individual congratulations, please hold all applause until the end of the category. Our first presentation is the COVID-19 Response Award. This award recognizes individuals and teams who rose to the challenge of ensuring that TSA's employees, stakeholders, and the traveling public remain safe, healthy, and informed during the COVID-19 pandemic. Our first COVID-19 Response Award recipient is a program analyst for TSA Arkansas, who was nominated for his exceptional critical COVID-19 response measures. He made sure TSA employees in the entire state of Arkansas had the proper personal protective equipment they needed to protect themselves, especially when community transmission levels spiked. This individual tracked all positive COVID cases and made sure everyone was aware of all challenges and directives related to PPE and COVID. This COVID-19 Response Award recipient is Russell Atkins. Our next COVID-19 Response Award recipient is a training specialist from Newark Liberty International Airport and a primary PLC for scheduling officers at the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center. This employee did a thorough job of understanding COVID-related guidelines at the TSA Academy, analyzing CDC guidelines, and providing clear information to impacted officers, all while continuing to coordinate and manage Phase 2 of basic training. He became a subject matter expert and gave one-on-one attention to employees who needed guidance. His team called him Doctor, and because of his commitment, Newark Liberty was able to continually send students to training throughout the various changes of the COVID-19 vaccination requirements. This COVID-19 Response Award recipient is Werner Contreras. Our next COVID-19 Response Award recipient is a senior counsel for TSA, who not only served as chief counsel subject matter expert analyzing new court decisions and precedent related to COVID, but also stepped up during the pandemic's uniquely challenging time to serve as an advisor, conduit, and coordinator between chief counsel and all TSA pillars, most notably security operations and enterprise support. She provided timely, significant legal guidance on various personnel-related issues stemming from COVID. Her outstanding work allowed TSA to successfully meet the agency's demanding and challenging challenges during the pandemic. This COVID-19 Response Award recipient is Shireen Hansen. Our next COVID-19 Response Award goes to a TSA senior leader. In addition to serving as Deputy Assistant Administrator for Security Operations, Operations Management, and Acting Assistant Administrator for 6 months, this individual was appointed as the TSA Senior Management Official responsible for TSA's implementation of the federal vaccine mandate. His actions were critical in documenting the vaccination status of TSA's 60,000 plus employees. developing the accommodation process, establishing steps to address noncompliance, and properly reporting compliance data to senior leadership to inform decisions on the matter. This COVID-19 Response Award recipient is Joseph Salvatore. Our next COVID-19 Response Award recipient is a policy specialist in Human Capital's Policy Development Division. Her dedication and leadership resulted in TSA employees being prepared for and informed on the often changing pandemic situation. She authored TSA's policies to implement the COVID-19 vaccine mandate, COVID testing, and wearing of the mask to protect workers and public from the virus. She ensured TSA was aligned with DHS and White House guidance. Because of her dedicated efforts, TSA was able to provide rapid response to frequently changing federal guidelines and respond to the many questions this emergency generated throughout the agency's workforce. This COVID-19 Response Award recipient is Catherine Walsh. Our next COVID-19 Response Award goes to two of TSA's finest who lent their excellent organization expertise to the TSA Vaccine Mandate Executive Order Working Group. This allowed TSA's executive leadership to track and focus on each phase of the President's requirements to ensure TSA was in compliance with the federal vaccine mandate. They provided real-time metrics and status reports for agency mission-critical personnel compliance based on leadership needs, DHS requirements, and CDC and White House guidance. This COVID-19 Response Award goes to Chantel Holston and Elizabeth Roblin. Accepting the award is Chantel Holston. TSA's Chief Counsel provided a key legal opinion supporting the ability of workers in Minnesota to apply for and receive a state benefit for working during the COVID-19 pandemic. As a result, state lawmakers approved Minnesota's governor's signed legislation to pay frontline workers, including those working in air transportation services, for continuing to work during the pandemic. Chief Counsel attorneys and staff researched state and federal laws before concluding frontline workers were eligible to receive extra pay. This COVID-19 Response Award goes to Chief Counsel General Law Team. Accepting the award is Donna Bavorno. TSA's Mask Task Force collaborated closely with the TSA Security Operations Compliance and Policy Plans Engagement to implement and operate the federal mask mandate to protect TSA employees and the traveling public. The Mask Task Force was comprised of attorneys and support staff from headquarters and the field. TSA Chief Counsel attorneys engaged with compliance and PPE on the mask requirement, which required a significant amount of time while continuing to handle their regular legal practice. Attorneys adjudicated nearly 1,200 civil enforcement cases against mask violators. This COVID-19 Response Award goes to the Mask Task Force. Accepting the award are Kristen Milano and Eileen Byrne. In May 2022, the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center temporarily suspended training operations and amended its processes and protocols to mitigate the risk of exposure to COVID-19. The new protocols imposed a 2,000 student population limit, causing numerous class cancellations. Canceling classes was not a viable option for TSA, given that all new hire TSOs must complete their basic training to perform TSA's primary mission. To mitigate the issue, TSA Academy proposed an alternative plan to protect new hire trainees by keeping them in a bubble to prevent a significant interruption in training while focusing on the health, safety, and well-being of its people. The TSA Academy engineered innovation solutions to safely continue its courses, and we recognize their efforts today by honoring the TSA Academy COVID Response Team with the COVID-19 Response Award. Accepting the award on their behalf of the TSA Academy is Brian Moses. Our next COVID-19 Response Award goes to a team that continuously track the status of all TSA employees in Oregon. Every day, this team coordinated with airport screening teams in all areas of leadership to capture the information of their COVID-affected workplace and to protect the many employees at airports around the state. Anytime an officer called in saying they were affected by COVID, this 24-hour-a-day team assisted with the information they needed and worked behind the scenes to keep Oregon's TSA employees safe. This COVID-19 Response Award recipient is the TSA Oregon Coordination Center. Accepting the award on behalf of the TSA Oregon Coordination Center is Amanda Sabata. We stay in the Beaver State for our next COVID-19 Response Award. This team was instrumental in keeping the TSA employees, stakeholders, and the traveling public safe. Prepared and well supplied during the pandemic, this team not only purchased supplies and PPE for the workforce, they tirelessly maintained and calculated a well-stocked inventory of supplies that allowed officers and staff to stay and feel safe in their working locations. From changing screening surroundings due to massive airport construction, wildfires raging across the state, this team maintained focus and composure through it all, supporting each other and providing assistance where needed. This COVID-19 Response Award recipient is the TSA Oregon Purchasing Team. Accepting the award on behalf of the team is Rachel Ransom Giddings. We also want to recognize the following COVID-19 Response Award winners who were unable to attend today's ceremony. John Zell Dangerfield, Gerald Poole, the National Transportation Vetting Center team, and the TSA Miami Mission Support Department. Please join me in congratulating all of our COVID-19 Response Award winners.
Good afternoon. My name is Tanisha Barker. I'm the Uniformed Advisor for Enterprise Support. The Core Values Award recognizes individual employees and teams for visibly demonstrating TSA's core values: integrity, respect, and commitment. Integrity recognizes TSA employees who maintain the highest standards of conduct. They are dedicated professionals acting with conviction and honesty. As individuals and as teams, they hold themselves accountable for results. Respect recognizes TSA employees who respect the Constitution, the law, and the traveling public. They value their colleagues, partners, and stakeholders. They demonstrate compassion and strive for excellence in all their actions. Commitment recognizes TSA employees who are committed to the security of the public, and they are vigilantly carrying out the mission entrusted to our agency. They are motivated to continuously improve the way they support our organization. Our first Core Values Award recipient from Los Angeles International Airport always maintains a positive demeanor while encouraging others to embrace TSA's mission, vision, and core values. He happily accepts new responsibilities and challenges, including the new hires training and assessment. He also takes the initiatives to brief the workforce on current events and new trainings, especially with the new evolving threats from the post-COVID era. This Core Value Award recipient is Walter Ariola. Our next Core Values Award recipient is a senior federal air marshal in the San Francisco office. This individual consistently demonstrates the highest levels of integrity, respect, and commitment through his volunteerism for key national initiatives and his approach to strengthening partnerships everywhere he goes. He was a leader during 4 waves of deployment to the El Paso sector, where he was instrumental to CBP's efforts to manage security, humanitarian efforts at the southwest border. 4 rosters of adjunct instruction at Flessie Artesia, New Mexico, and the TSA Training Center in Atlantic City, and as a firearms instructor for the San Francisco FAMS office. This Core Values Award recipient is Francisco Cruz. Our next Core Value Award recipient is an STSO at the Los Angeles International Airport. This STSO is a high-performing individual with a deep commitment to TSA's mission and core values. He is a subject matter expert in checkpoint operations and has built a team by demonstrating professional conduct and respect for all employees, stakeholders, and passengers. His leadership is consistent, and he delivers his message each day with courtesy and respect. This Core Values Award recipient is Raymond Gasper. Our next Core Value Award recipient is from Salt Lake City International Airport. This individual has recognized and demonstrated the need to accelerate actions by leading the SLC workforce with new and innovative screening concepts at the checkpoint. Taking leadership roles at 7 pilot air programs, he has led the way in pursuing advanced technology and procedures to allow for more automation, as his team provides security for the traveling public. He demonstrates the leadership principles of caring for his people while anticipating challenges and driving results. This Core Value Award recipient is Donald Kubiak. Our next Core Value Award recipient is a senior federal air marshal in the LE FAM's New York field office. He passionately exemplifies TSA core values and is recognized as a peer leader who selflessly mentors newly assigned personnel to improve their knowledge and performance. His commitment to the New York City FAM's workforce allows him to identify, mitigate, and solve daily problems that challenge the FAM's mission. During this award time frame, he was deployed to over 150 domestic and international missions and was selected as a team lead on most of those missions. His respect for the workforce is highly highlighted by his active DEIA support and his constant championship of the field office diversity programs and initiatives. This Core Values Award recipient is Gregory LaBeouf. Our next recipient from TSA Compliance was nominated for a Core Values Award based on his participation as a supervisor during a lengthy assignment to U.S. Border Patrols in Southwest. He was a critical field leader who advised DHS volunteer force leadership on cost-effective ways to deploy, maintain, and sustain volunteer force members. In communication to the Miami Regional Operations Center, this individual was described as operating with high levels of diplomacy, negotiation skills, and technical proficiency with regards to DHS policy on the Southwest border. His role supported DHS Secretary and TSA's administrator called to secure homeland and demonstrate compassion to those in need. This Core Value Award recipient is Andrew McQuiston. Our next Core Values Award recipient serves as a vetting analyst for TSA National Transportation Vetting Center. Her primary responsibilities include, but are not limited to, properly handling or suspected terrorist travel, passenger vetting, authoring reports, and executing complex vetting decisions. She is an active member of several groups, including INA Employee Advisory Council, Diversity and Inclusion Council, and Employment Engagement Groups. She is a leader on and off the watch floor and is a constant peer supporter and mentor. She is committed to fostering a positive work environment and carrying out TSA mission. This Core Values Award recipient is Susan O'Hara.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Our next Core Value Award recipient is a Field Intelligence Officer from Grand Rapids, Michigan. This individual assisted his AFSD law enforcement and the Transportation Security Operations Center in responding to a critical request from a Sarasota, Florida sheriff to help locate a missing at-risk minor. His expert use of INA vetting toolkit enabled him to collaborate with law enforcement to swiftly pinpoint the minor's location in Chicago. He also identified 2 people of interest. He demonstrated compassion for the minor, who was involved in a potentially life-altering situation, and provided vital information to law enforcement to safely intervene and resolve the situation. This Core Value Award recipient is James Palatinowick. Our next Core Value Award recipient is a TSM from Central Wisconsin Airport, who made a personal sacrifice to volunteer for an important mission. She served with the DHS Volunteer Force in support with CBP during the 2022 humanitarian and security effort along the southwest border. She was responsible for assisting Border Patrol and CBP in their non-law enforcement duties related to the care of immigrants crossing the border. She served as a sector leader and went above and beyond to ensure the needs of volunteers and facilities were met. This Core Value Award recipient is Stephanie Pellman. Our next Core Value Award recipient is a supervisor at the TSA Academy, where he served for many years. His peers and instructors look up to him as a subject matter expert in many aspects of the training curriculum. Colleagues believe his dedication to TSA's mission and to the agency's instructor was the reason he was asked to help stand up TSA Academy West in Las Vegas. Day or night, on or off duty, he goes the extra miles to support our people and our mission. He's known for giving opportunities, developing and improving all of those whom he come in contact. Not only is he committed to his team, he tries to help others in their development, whether they're in his direct chain of command or not. This Core Values Award recipient is Justa Philipar. Our next Core Values Award recipient leads Training and Development Screening Operations Training Branch. She ensures that all instructional activities associated with the deployment of emerging technologies such as computed tomography and credentials authentication technologies are deployed and coordinated with other TSA offices. In fiscal year 2022, she led training initiatives to replace advanced technology X-ray units with 3D image analog CT systems. She led additional efforts to replace checkpoint and check baggage stimulators and explored new options in the delivery of X-ray continuous belt training, to name a few of her accomplishments. She achieved results that have major positive impacts on everyone at TSA and make significant difference on our front line each day. This Core Values Award recipient is Brandy Phillips. Our next Core Value Award recipients are from the Boston Logan International Airport and involves a life-saving event. During screening, an airline employee lost their balance and fell while going through the walk-through metal detector. He was unresponsive. A TSO and STSO immediately knew something was wrong and jumped into action. They notified local medics, personnel, and 911, and were advised to begin CPR. They did so while using the defibrillator until medics arrived. Administrator Pokowski highlighted their story and actions during the National Town Hall, and they were featured in a story on iShare and TSA.gov. Their commitment to our core values played a massive role in ensuring the individual survived. This Core Values Award goes to Boston Terminal E Life Saving Event, TSO Richard Veziano and STSO Michael Miller. Accepting this award for Officers Veziano and Miller is Brian Cardona. Our next Core Value Award recipients were crew leads for the DHS Volunteer Force. DeSamo Shorter, Christine Pope, and John Bellato relied heavily on their core values to improve team morale and workplace conditions. They were assigned to a 12-hour-a-day, 6-day-a-week, and often went above and beyond the core hours they were expected to fulfill. They were never concerned with their pay, but instead were focused on meeting the mission to ensure the safety, security, and well-being of the team. They valued their colleagues, partners, and stakeholders, and were always willing to go the extra step to help where needed. These Core Value Award recipients are crew leads from the DHS Volunteer Force Team Yama. Accepting this award for this team is DeSamo Shorter. Our next core value award recipient demonstrates TSA's core value by showing respect and commitment to transportation workers in the Transportation Worker Identification Credentials and Hazardous Material Endorsement Threat Assessment Program. On behalf of the individuals previously incarcerated, this team developed guidance on how to navigate TSA's redress program, engaged in state corrections agencies and supported probation and parole officers, and participated in several second chance events to provide direct guidance to community resource and those interested in obtaining TWIC and HME. This Core Values Award recipient is the ESV and INA Redress Equity Initiative team. Accepting this award for this team is Elaine Fadul. Our next Core Value Award recipient team is nominated for this year's Core Value Awards for their ongoing efforts to improve intelligence products to meet customers' needs. Their efforts led to an overhaul of TSA's upfront daily unclassified report, consolidating customer feedback and requirements to provide one key situational awareness product. Upfront, which is currently distributed to over 2,000 recipients, has been lauded by TSA's leadership and is frequently requested not only across TSA, but also by DHS components and interagency partners. INA is stronger because of Upfront's team's effort, and thanks to their hard work, TSA has set a sterling example in daily product efficiency and production. This Core Values Award recipient is the INA Upfront team. Accepting the award for this team is Brian Podum. We also want to recognize the following Core Value Award winners who are unable to attend today's ceremony: Eric Blackburn, Lorenzo Davalos, Adrian Lambert, Belinda Villegas, and the TSA Wyoming Gatekeepers. Please join me in congratulating all of the Core Value Award recipients.
Good afternoon. My name is Eric Guthier. I'm the Uniformed Advisor for the Administrator. The Mission Focus Award recognizes individuals and/or teams who exhibit a clear, specific, and measurable focus on the TSA mission. The work resulted in measurable improvements in transportation security and includes superior performance-driven results or contributions and/or outstanding commitment to the mission. Our first Mission Focus Award recipient achieved tremendous success in their unified effort to rebuild robust staffing levels across Alaska's 19 airports. Alaskan airports are considered to be among TSA's most difficult to hire locations. TSA Alaska pulled together a team to take full advantage of the opportunity hiring incentives provided. Exceeding their expectations, the team's efforts resulted in the addition of 213 officers to Alaska's ranks in FY22, filling critical positions at over 14 airports. Their complete dedication and professionalism was critical to meeting the increased post-pandemic passenger screening challenges for the state's airports. This Mission Focus Award recipient is the Alaska Hiring and Inbound Transfer Team. Accepting the award for this team is Christine Webb. Our next Mission Focus Award goes to a team that has the unique distinction of supporting the mission of all offices across TSA. From strategic planning to execution to the reporting of our missions, this staff plays a leading role in mission success. This team programmed, budgeted, defended, and executed $8.7 billion for TSA operations in FY22. With a focus on new security technology and staffing, this office had to convince Congress that TSA needed additional funding to advance security operations, resulting in an $842 million or a 17% increase in net discretionary funding over FY21 levels. This office also had direct involvement in pay equity discussions. This Mission Focus Award recipient is the Chief Finance Office. Accepting the award for this team is Holly Maringer. Our next Mission Focus Award goes to a team that provided significant and measurable contributions towards improving security effectiveness across TSA. Despite COVID supply chain issues, the team deployed several hundred credential authentication technology, or CAT systems, to airports around the country in early FY22, meeting their DHS authorized deployment 9 months ahead of schedule. Not taking time to rest, the team aggressively pursued DHS approval to further increase the CAT fleet size and add new capabilities to the CAT system, such as biometric facial verification and a traveler self-service capability. The team also assisted with the backlog of TSO applicants, conducting interviews and closing out applications of more than 30 applicants for Boston and Charlotte as part of the TSO hiring surge, going above and beyond their normal scope of duties. This Mission Focus Award recipient is the Credential Authentication Technology Team. Accepting the award for this team is Angela Matos. Our next Mission Focus Award recipient played a critical role in the success of TSA's security mission by coordinating and managing the response of more than 900 National Deployment Force officers to 130 airports. This was at a time when many Air Force faced significant staffing challenges. This team's efforts led to minimized wait times at airports, reduced the need for mandatory overtime for our frontline officers, and had a positive impact on officer morale. This team saw the number of deployments they managed double over previous years. They worked tirelessly to address officer concerns with the safety and security of the National Deployment Force team members and their number one priority. This Mission Focus Award recipient is the National Deployment Office. Accepting the award for this team is Alexander McAuliffe. Our next Mission Focus Award recipient is an intelligence and analysis team who worked tirelessly in the face of numerous challenges to lay the foundation for TSA's counterintelligence program. They enabled the establishing and staffing of the TSA counterintelligence branch, which now is fully operational and has made significant advancements. Through its many accomplishments, the team increased counterintelligence outreach and awareness by 150% and reporting by 300% from the previous year. That would not have been possible without the broader team's steadfast dedication to duty commitment to the TSA's mission and protecting employees and assets from foreign adversaries. This Mission Focus Award recipient is the TSA Counterintelligence Program Development Team. Accepting the award for this team is Damon Wilson. Please join me in congratulating all of our Mission Focus Award recipients. The Law Enforcement Award recognizes individuals and or teams for their outstanding accomplishments that promote law enforcement and the protection of the U.S. transportation infrastructure. Awardees make significant contributions to law enforcement, stakeholder partnerships, protection and security, and they demonstrate integrity and innovation while adding value to TSA and other agencies nationwide. Our first Law Enforcement Award recipient is a senior federal air marshal who regularly goes above and beyond his regular duties to create strong professional relationships with federal, state, and local stakeholders. He has built an essential partnership between the New York City Police Department and the New York FAMS field office that allows both agencies to serve their communities better and protect our nation against acts of terrorism. On April 12, 2022, he was on duty with the New York Police Department Counterterrorism Unit when a gunman wearing a gas mask set off smoke grenades and fired a barrage of bullets inside a rush-hour subway train in Brooklyn, wounding at least 29 people. He played an instrumental role in relaying pertinent, real-time information immediately to all involved stakeholders. He is an asset to FAMS and the 49 units he supports as liaison to New York Police Department Counterterrorism Division. This Law Enforcement Award recipient is Aaron Leeper. Our next Law Enforcement Award recipient is the AFSD Law Enforcement in Oregon, who established himself as someone people can trust. He has built and redefined relationships with government and police agencies across Oregon and Washington. He has taken the lead to establish a successful peer support group at Portland International Airport and led multiple events to bring stakeholders, the Port Authority, and TSA together to find mutually beneficial solutions to complicated or challenging issues. Recognizing local police and TSA staffing challenges, he worked with training and screening leadership to identify which incidents were the highest priorities and explored other methods to accomplish TSA's mission. He has gone out of his way to get to know everyone on a personal level. This Law Enforcement Award recipient is Jeffrey Lay. Our next Law Enforcement Award recipient is a TSA Special Agent who embodies service above self and excellence in all he does. His ability to lead complex law enforcement investigations and add value to our partners was observed when he connected with prosecutors to identify, locate, and apprehend a fugitive who was responsible for stealing a victim's identity in another state. He is a well-established resource with an impeccable reputation among federal, state, local, territorial, and tribal law enforcement and security professionals nationally. He has participated and assisted in many cases that led to the arrest of federal fugitives operating in or using transportation to facilitate their crimes or avoid apprehension. This Law Enforcement Award recipient is Jason Santiago. Our next Law Enforcement Award recipient is a team deployed throughout the New England area. This team participated in 450 Viper deployments during the National Award nomination time period. They conducted dozens of operations in Connecticut alone, partnering with federal, state, and local law enforcement and military organizations to provide security for all transportation domains, including aviation, rail, and maritime. In April 2022, someone set off smoke grenades and fired gunshots on a crowded train in Brooklyn, triggering a full-scale regional active shooter response. With this team's help, local law enforcement was able to maintain a continual presence in the area's rail system, and their assistance later led to the arrest of the suspect. They serve as a deterrent to adversaries who might target public mass transit venues. This Law Enforcement Award recipient is the LE-FAM's Boston Viper team. Accepting the award for this team is Brian Susi. Our next Law Enforcement Award goes to several members of the LE-FAMS team in New York City. On April 12, 2022, a suspect wearing a gas mask deployed 2 smoke grenade canisters and fired 33 gunshots at passengers on board a Manhattan-bound subway train. 29 passengers were injured. The New York City LE-FAMS field office team provided an immediate, decisive, and tactical active threat response. This team relayed key intelligence information to New York City's upper management and deployed 3 Viper teams to assist local, state, and federal law enforcement at several subway stations the suspect used to escape. Their dedication highlighted LE-FAM's ability to partner with numerous agencies by providing quick response and tactical support. This law enforcement award recipient is the New York City Active Shooter Response Team. Accepting the award for this team is Michael Schrader. Please join me in congratulating all of our law enforcement award recipients. The Innovation Award recognizes individuals or teams that have served as a positive force in identifying, crafting, promoting, and implementing creative solutions that have had a significant impact on how TSA operates locally or across enterprise. Awardees demonstrate a sophisticated knowledge and implementation of innovation tools, pilot studies, and other innovative resources available to TSA and DHS employees. We recognize our first Innovation Award recipient for the role he played in developing and implementing a new awards program at Houston's George Bush Intercontinental Airport. He built a technology-based platform to store, monitor, track, and manage all data for what is called the Frontrunner Rewards program. Employees were recognized for nearly 3,000 mission-driven achievements, and over 870 different employees were honored throughout FY22 as part of this new program. That's approximately 80% of the TSA IAH workforce and was a tremendous boost to employee morale. This Innovation Award recipient is Gilbert Hernandez. Our next Innovation Award recipient developed process maps and training tools for TSA's Chief Counsel, Security Operations, Human Capital, Civil Rights and Liberties, Ombudsman and Travel Engagement, and Federal Air Marshal clients nationwide. These innovation tools have helped TSA employees more effectively respond to the applications of harassment, workplace violence, and misconduct, as well as manage potential unmanned aerial system threats. We recognize this recipient for her out-of-the-box thinking and to help others in TSA implement important policies. TSA's counterterrorism coordinator publicly acknowledged her efforts as being extraordinarily useful. This Innovation Award recipient is Candace Norton. Our next Innovation Award recipient is a senior Federal Air Marshal from the New York Field Office who crafted, promoted, and implemented numerous technological innovations that have significantly impacted the operations of DHS, TSA, and FAMs locally and across the country. Examples of his contributions to the TSA Data Inventory Project to assist DHS's strategic direction and his development of an interactive Southwest border computer-generated map to track FAMs and other personnel assigned to their respective sectors for leadership, command, and control capabilities. TSA's Transportation Security Operations Center immediately used this dashboard as a situational awareness map on the TSOC floor for the entire Southwest border operation. This Innovation Award recipient is Daniel Taylor. Our next Innovation Award recipient is a team in strategic communications and public affairs that has become a model in using social media and virtual assistant technology. This team saw a 60% increase in the number of passenger questions coming in from FY21 to FY22, and they were able to respond to all in under 3 minutes. To handle the massive increase in queries and maintain a fast response time, this team significantly improved its virtual assistant technology, resulting in a customer satisfaction score regularly above 98%, far higher than the industry standard. Multiple organizations have reached out asking this team to share their approaches and best practices. The team was featured in national media publications and outlets such as the NBC and New York Times and is known as a thought leader within the federal government. This Innovation Award recipient is the Ask TSA team. Ian Kava and Shavina Wright are accepting the award for Ask TSA. Our next Innovation Award recipient is a team of officers from Las Vegas Harry Reid International Airport. They operate TSA's Innovation Checkpoint, which uses exciting new technologies and manages innovative pilot programs taking place at LAS. This involves TSOs to STSOs who are required to be proficient in each piece of technology as well as processing passengers. They saw a nearly four-fold increase in the number of passengers coming through the Innovation Checkpoint during FY22 and participated in several tours and question and answer sessions with high-profile groups from the U.S. and other countries. During a live congressional hearing, these officers were recognized for their knowledge and dedication. The Innovation Award recipient is the team of officers from the LAS Innovation Checkpoint. Accepting the team award is Andrew Craig. Please join me in congratulating all of our Innovation Award recipients. The Partnership Award recognizes teams with outstanding achievements in promoting security partnerships across transportation systems, advancing global transportation security standards, measurably improving training and development, and enabling strong partnerships across governments and industry that are integral to the success of our shared transportation security mission. Timeliness of information sharing, proper classification and sensitivity of the information, and action-oriented focus are key factors in determining those who achieve excellence in this category. Our first recipient of the Partnership Award collaborated with private industry and local governments. Through their private-public partnership efforts, TSA received nearly $35 million of cutting-edge transportation security equipment and other related services in FY22. The donated equipment improves airport security and operational efficiency and expedites our deployment of state-of-the-art technology. This small but mighty team of 5 managed all proposed, initiated, and completed donations to TSA. As a result of their dedication to develop great partnerships, this team is delivering a higher return on investment than almost any other organization in the U.S. government. This Partnership Award recipient is the Capability Acceptance Management Branch. Accepting the award on behalf of this team is Penny Lawless. Our next Partnership Award recipient from LE-FAMS has demonstrated success in the shared transportation security mission of keeping the traveling public safe, both in the air and on the ground, through well-established and new partnerships. They oversee the Federal Flight Deck Officer Program, which last month celebrated its 20th anniversary, and the Crew Member Self-Defense Training Program. The Volunteer FFDO program has exceeded 21 million domestic and international missions, protecting passengers at a cost of only $22 per mission. Over 4,400 crew members participated in the Crew Member Self-Defense Training Program in FY22. This team excels in collaborating with industry, government partners, and federal, state, and local law enforcement. This Partnership Award recipient is the LE-FAMS Aviation Programs Branch. Accepting the award for this team is Todd Wolf. Please join me in congratulating all of our Partnership Award recipients.
Good afternoon. My name is Steve Bird. I'm the supervisory TSI from Portland International Airport. The Program Management Excellence Award recognizes employees and teams for demonstrating superior leadership, data-driven analysis and decision-making, and acquisition and program management excellence through a significant contribution to TSA that exemplifies the agency's strategic priorities. Our first Program Management Excellence Award recipient is a special agent whose efforts had a direct impact on TSA's National Polygraph Program, earning TSA recognition as an innovative leader within the federal government polygraph community. He spearheaded TSA investigation support of the LE-FAM's fiscal year 2022 hiring initiative. This individual completed a multi-year criminal fraud and ethics violation case, working jointly with DHS, the Office of Inspector General, IRS, and other groups, and uncovered evidence to support the allegations that impacted decisions totaling over $800 million in value. He demonstrated superior leadership and employed data-driven analysis and teamwork to achieve excellence in program management. This Program Management Excellence Award recipient is Taj Matthew. Faced with a growing threat of domestic terrorism, INA's National Transportation Vetting Center partnered with TSA's Information Technology and Enrollment Services and vetting programs to create new, innovative, and collaborative efforts to expand the unique, configurable threshold by airport capability. CTA has proven to be a resounding success in improving the efficiency and effectiveness of pre-screening possible known or suspected terrorists with access to aviation, both domestically and internationally. During critical staff shortages, expanding CTA's capability to the domestic front raised TSA's visibility on potentially high-risk domestic air passengers and efficiently managing the agency's vetting resources. This Program Management Excellence Award recipient is the INA ESVPIT Configurable Threshold by Airport team. Accepting their award is Tim Kosar. Please join me in congratulating our Program Management Excellence Award recipients. The Technology Achievement Award recognizes accomplishments that improve the security of the U.S. transportation infrastructure or the efficiency of TSA through technology-related activities and measurable impact. Our first recipient of the Technology Achievement Award is a team that successfully developed, piloted, and deployed a new technical capability nationwide to address an emerging operational challenge. Security operations identified a substantial increase in the number of non-U.S. citizens arriving at airport checkpoints without TSA-required forms of identification. To address this challenge, the team partnered with Customs and Border Protection to adapt the CBP-1 application for use at TSA checkpoints. CBP-1 is a mobile application that serves as a single portal to a variety of CBP services and allows TSA to verify adult non-U.S. citizens' documentation by using government-issued cell phones with a CBP-1 app. The impact of this technology advancement, piloted at several southwest border area airports, saved TSA's frontline officers over 3.7 million minutes during identity verification at the checkpoint. This Technology Achievement Award recipient is the CBP-1 deployment team. Accepting this award is Amy Olson. Our next Technology Achievement Award recipient from Intelligence and Analysis and the Enrollment Services and Vetting Programs partnered to implement technology advancements by automating and enhancing the security threat assessment process for vetting applicants in programs such as TSA PreCheck, Hazardous Materials Endorsement Threat Assessment Program, and the Transportation Worker Identification Credential Program. Their development of the Common Formatting for Criminal Records tool streamlined the approval of more than 353,000 cases across the 3 programs in fiscal year 22. This tool allows TSA to expedite cases and conduct thorough reviews of applicants' criminal history information. This Technology Achievement Award recipient is the Security Threat Assessment Adjudication Enhancements Team. Accepting this award is Aaron Wagner. Please join me in congratulating our Technology Achievement Award recipients. The Workforce Diversity and Inclusion Award recognizes mid-level, senior level, and executive leaders who promote equal employment opportunity by leveraging diversity and embracing inclusive principles. An individual receiving this award acknowledges and values the differences in people and strive to create a work environment where everyone feels like they belong. They recognize that different experiences and perspectives can lead to more creative thinking and better problem solving. They demonstrate zero tolerance for discrimination and exhibit behaviors that promote fairness, cooperation, and transparency. These individuals also sponsor a work environment that is inclusive and empowers their employees to support the mission. Our first Workforce Diversity and Inclusion Award recipient is a supervisory federal air marshal from Boston, who is a steadfast supporter of diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility efforts agency-wide. She was the head of the Women Excel at FAM's Leadership and Development Committee and organized the 2022 We at FAM's Women's Empowerment Series, which featured accomplished female leaders who inspire, educate, and offer tools for success. She consistently works on various events and projects to ensure the TSA workforce as a whole has resources at their disposal that foster education, diversity, and inclusion. This Workforce Diversity and Inclusion Award recipient is Diane Behringer. Our next Workforce Diversity and Inclusion Award recipient demonstrated excellence in her commitment to bring awareness to and educate TSA leaders and employees on diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility, and how it applies to TSA operations. She ensured the implementation of groundbreaking DEIA-related executive orders and related initiatives and was responsible for DHS identifying TSA for its accomplishments in this area. She took the initiative to help organize Inclusive Diversity Day for new FSDs at the TSA Academy. She has been essential in advancing DEIA and transitioning TSA into a more inclusive organization. This Workforce Diversity and Inclusion Award recipient is Sina Foster. Please join me in congratulating our Workforce Diversity and Inclusion Award recipients. This Commitment to Leadership Award recognizes rising mid-level, senior level, and executive leaders who make significant contributions in providing leadership and direction for transportation security. Individuals receiving this award act as role models for their peers and staff and exhibit excellent leadership skills with a drive, focus, and determination to realize the vision and highest ideals of the agency. They foster a diverse, inclusive, and transparent work environment and cultivate a skilled workforce that is prepared and equipped to meet the challenges of tomorrow. Awardees embody a positive organizational structure and promote an entrepreneurial spirit and operational excellence. Our first Commitment to Leadership Award recipient is a supervisory TSI at LaGuardia Airport who supported his team through the loss of a veteran team member during the COVID-19 pandemic and the unpredictable work environment caused by the pandemic. He took on twice his normal workload to ensure the mission was completed and provided uninterrupted support to his entire office. He was tasked with overseeing the aviation inspection team along with his cargo team after the aviation STSI was promoted to an AFSD position. Under heavy stress, he continued to keep his open door policy and cancel his TSIs during the best and worst days. Through the pressure to get the job done, he never lost his passion to care for his people. This Commitment to Leadership Award recipient is Scott Cerbelli. And AFSD for Screening in Las Vegas is the recipient of our next Commitment to Leadership Award. This individual has made many positive changes across all Team LAS departments, with one of his greatest known strengths to be his intuition about people and his commitment to care of them. He spearheaded the airport's commitment to provide invaluable training across multiple levels of management and leadership. Within his screening operations unit, he models a sense of accountability and responsibility while creating a culture of empowerment from TSO up. He freely gives his time and efforts to those around him and understands when to be a peer-to-peer mentor or when to challenge an individual to do more. This Commitment to Leadership Award recipient is Douglas Cruz. Our next Commitment to Leadership Award recipient is from the Traveler Engagement Division. As acting customer service branch manager, she oversaw 5 full-time employees in her office, as well as multiple teams of contractors, including the 90-person team supporting the TSA Contact Center. She led the implementation of innovative processes and technology into the TCC operation, oversaw the development of customer experience-focused resources and briefings for the field. She facilitated the creation of a TSA-wide customer service metric dashboard and served as the face of the agency's customer experience, participating in government-wide panel discussions, and served as TSA's point of contact for the Office of Management and Budget's high-impact service providers. Through it all, she led her team by encouraging new ideas, innovation, and creativity. This Commitment to Leadership Award recipient is Nicole French. Our next Commitment to Leadership Award recipient is a role model and leader within the TSOC, the Transportation Security Operations Center. He is a rising mid-level leader who has built a strong network of leaders from his cohort to improve TSOC reporting, information gathering, incident coordination, and communication. He leads through partnerships to carry out TSA's mission, and his devotion to leading is also reflected in his personal life. He volunteers as head coach of a local youth wrestling program and assistant high school football coach. He is motivated to give back to the community where he grew up and serve as a mentor to young people. This Commitment to Leadership Award recipient is Scott Haupt. Please join me in congratulating all of our Commitment to Leadership Award recipients. The Office of the Year Award recognizes the best of TSA with outstanding team achievements in key operations and mission support functions. Their work has resulted in measurable improvements, superior performance, notable innovation, and significant operational improvements in support of TSA's mission. Awardees demonstrate a clear commitment to improve workforce engagement and morale. Our first Office of the Year Award is in the CADX and One Airport category. This year's recipient is a team that covers 19 airports spread across 624,000 miles and has the largest area of responsibility by square mileage of any airport team in the country. This state's airports are among the agency's hardest to hire locations, but this team developed innovative solutions to include a relocation incentive program, which attracted 120 transfers in fiscal year 22. They consistently advocate for officers' well-being through retention incentives and regularly make a point to recognize their employees. They engage with their employees by being among the top airports actively using the TSA News employee app, are in an area of the country known as the last frontier. This year's CADX and One Airport of the Year is TSA Alaska, Ted Stevens Anchorage International Airport. Accepting the award is Ginger Bateman. Congratulations. Our next recipient is the CAT 2, 3, and 4 Airport of the Year, which hails from the Sunshine State. In fiscal year 22, the TSA team at this airport processed some of the highest volumes of passengers of any CAT 2 airport with lower wait times, all while maintaining high standards of security effectiveness. They achieved this by developing new tools and have a dedicated, forward-thinking, and flexible workforce. They saw unprecedented growth in travel as one of the major cities in the country that remained open for business and leisure travel through the pandemic. This airport was only one of 9 CAT 2s in the country with no standard passenger lane wait times of 20 minutes or more at the checkpoint in fiscal year 22. They're also well known for collaborating with sister airports and stakeholders. The CAT 2 through 4 airport of the year is St. Pete Clearwater International Airport. Accepting this award is Edward Galloway. The Federal Air Marshal Service Field Office of the Year made significant contributions to transportation security through in-flight detainments, was involved in a life-saving effort at the southwest border, led unmanned aerial system tabletop exercises, and partnered with other agencies following significant events in the San Francisco area, including an armed traveler, bomb threats, and in-flight disturbances. They strengthened partnerships through high levels of volunteerism for DHS initiatives, including Operation Allies Welcome, Southwest Border, UN General Assembly, and numerous Viper deployments, which included the Super Bowl. The Federal Air Marshal Service Field Office of the Year is the San Francisco Field Office. Accepting this award is Thomas Aguilera. The Headquarters Office of the Year opened new training facilities to strengthen capacity, established innovative programs to care of TSA's people, expanded and modernized its domestic canine procurement efforts, and equipped frontline officers with cutting-edge technology and coursework. They trained a record 20,000 students and 162 canines in fiscal year 22, while prioritizing virtual instruction to keep employees safe and save costs. To help foster an environment of belonging and growth, this office launched Diversity and Inclusion virtual training in fiscal year 22. Our Headquarters Office of the Year award goes to Training and Development. Accepting this award is Kimberly Hutchinson. Please join me in congratulating all of our Offices of the Year award recipients.
The Employee of the Year Award recognizes employees who work to achieve the highest level performance of their duties. TSA recognizes these employees' extraordinary contributions in promoting the transportation security mission and TSA strategy. Their contributions demonstrate the utmost integrity and professionalism while adding value to the department, TSA stakeholders, and to their position. We begin with our TSO of the Year. This TSO is fairly new to the agency, but the relationships she quickly formed with the key support people throughout Colorado have been instrumental in advancing TSA's mission. Instructors chose her as a top-ranked honor student at the TSA Academy, and it didn't take long for her to become a passenger support specialist in Denver, helping screen passengers in need. Because of her compassion, attention to detail, and customer service, many passengers who frequently travel have requested this TSO to assist them through the screening process. As the primary collateral duty safety officer in Colorado, she has become a subject matter expert on the safety information system and safety issues and has provided technical assistance on hazardous chemicals to Denver spokes. She understands the importance of having a safe environment for officers so they can focus on security and keep the traveling public safe. Our TSO of the Year is Chelsea Scott. Our lead TSO of the Year continuously seeks new roles, responsibilities, and opportunities to contribute to the success of Denver International Airport. He received more than 10 awards in FY22 and has committed himself to work closely with his peers, supervisors, and management to bring new, innovative ideas to the table to help support the workforce. He is a coach and LTSO mentor, a member of Denver Safety Action Team, and a collateral duty safety officer. His desire to foster a well-rounded and resilient workforce contributed to him joining a team of LTSO Academy instructors. He is Denver's point of contact for a known crew member and positively influenced employee morale. This year's LTSO of the Year is Taylor Davis. Our Supervisory Transportation Security Officer of the Year is from Lubbock Preston Smith International Airport in Texas, who rose to the occasion and exhibited effective communication, critical thinking, and leadership skills when they were needed the most during FY22. She is always proactively volunteering for local TSA projects, brainstorming and problem solving to help her team ensure mission success. She participated in numerous local hiring assessments on her regular days off to help alleviate the burden from the local human resource specialists and program analysts. After experiencing the airport's first fallen TSA officer in FY22, she stayed in constant contact with the officer's daughter and organized staffing to allow officers to attend the funeral. Behind the scenes, she also assisted with donations and financial assistance from the workforce to support the officer's family. She facilitated OJT training for numerous officers and is considered a role model among her peers and superiors. Our STSO of the Year is Christina Chalogala. Our Transportation Security Manager of the Year is called an outstanding member of the Team LAX family. Throughout 2022, she stepped up and volunteered to take on many additional responsibilities, always with a commitment to her people. She took on a special assignment with the Team LAX Scheduling Department, supporting many new programs such as eBid and track COVID cases and special leave provisions provided to the workforce. She volunteered to lead and manage the LAX Employee Advisory Council and the LAX Joint Awards Committee and supported LAX professional development work groups. She coordinated her team's 2022 food drive with her involvement in outreach and generating a whopping 79,000 pounds of food for Los Angeles food banks. She constantly shows passion and support for her team. This year's Transportation Security Manager of the Year is Nicole Russell. Like our TSM of the Year, our Coordination Center Employee of the Year is from LAX. He has consistently proven to be an exceptional and dedicated member of the LAX Hub and Smoke Coordination Center, which is one of the busiest in the country. In FY22, he was instrumental in the reestablishment of numerous emerging management protocols coming out of the COVID-19 pandemic. He identified new procedures to implement and served as acting supervisory coordination center officer to ensure the airports were operating efficiently. He also took the initiative to mentor team members and assisted airport stakeholders in holding multiple training exercises. This year's Coordination Center Employee of the Year is William Williamson. Our Federal Security Director of the Year oversaw 17 airports and more than 1,200 TSA employees in Michigan. He also served on several headquarters committees and often backed up the Executive Director of large hubs before recently being named the Deputy Executive Assistant Administrator for Security Operations. In FY22, this individual merged the Grand Rapids Hub and spokes of 13 airports into the DTW Hub and 3 spokes, forming one of the largest areas of responsibility in the nation without incident, issue, or complaint. He wrote an 18-page guide, The Foundation of TSA's Culture, State of Michigan, and led efforts to implement major security equipment in every one of the state's 17 airports. He is the first to compliment others, recognize good work, and lend a hand when needed. We recognize Steve Lorenz as Federal Security Director of the Year. Our second Federal Security Director of the Year was sworn in as one of 8 new FSDs by the Transportation Secretary Norman Mineta in March 2002. Over the past 21 years as FSD in Alabama, she led many positive changes, created opportunities, and tackled challenges. In 2022, Alabama hosted the World Games, which was considered a national security event. And this FSD led security coordination and planning efforts nearly a year prior to the event. She led the deployment of explosive detection K-9 teams, National Deployment Force, and Viper team deployments, cyber risk assessments, venue screening, and intelligence teams, and security and tactical operations support. We also honor Gail Linkins as TSA Federal Security Director of the Year. FSD Lincolns was unable to attend, excuse me. Next on to our Assistant Federal Security Director of the Year is an AFSD law enforcement and is recognized for his significant contributions to transportation security in the Bay Area and his support of San Francisco's FSD and LE FAM's leadership. This AFSD helped coordinate information sharing and TSA responses to bomb threats, a traveler with airsoft guns, and in-flight disturbances. He was also instrumental for the rollout of the local airport operations team. He was praised for his support and coordination efforts for a pair of national security events in San Francisco and for coordinating with Viper, local police, and other state and federal government agencies. Following the retirement of 2 local law enforcement AFSDs, he volunteered to provide coverage at Oakland and Sacramento's airports to ensure seamless coordination and information sharing. The Assistant Federal Security Director of the Year is Steve Yee. Our K-9 Handler of the Year is one of 16 K-9 handlers assigned to TSA Las Vegas. He has been with the LAS K-9 team since 2019 and consistently volunteers and works tireless to ensure Vegas has K-9 enhanced screening during peak travel periods. His efforts directly led to a successful holiday, convention, and tourism season. He also distinguished himself by serving as a lead trainer for all K-9 teams. His training techniques have ensured that all handlers at LAS have passed their evaluations. He is truly a team player. This year's K-9 Handler of the Year is Koa Peruganan. Thank you.
Our Inspector of the Year is an aviation inspector who volunteered to serve as the team lead for the local Special Emphasis Inspector, catering security at Houston's George Intercontinental Airport. Her determination and skill set is the discovery of more than 1,600 serious security vulnerabilities that resulted in 19 investigations. Her work was direct positive impact on aviation security domestically and internationally. Her leadership led to the investment of nearly $15 million in global security operations to mitigate vulnerabilities and reduce transportation risks around the world. This year's Transportation Security Inspector of the Year is Marissa Sinka. Next, we have our Transportation Security Specialist Explosives of the Year, who is also from Houston. During the time period of award selection, the TSSC responded to nearly 250 advanced alarms at 18 security screening locations at 2 airports, arriving within 15 minutes of each notification. His active engagement effectively mitigated potential threats from entering the sterile area, minimize checkpoint closures and wait times, and ensure safety for all. He is a model trainer, instructor within his community, and enjoys sharing his expertise with screening operations, stakeholders, and community partners. He was specifically requested to serve on a panel of headquarters and training representatives to rewrite the TSSE new hire curriculum to better prepare newly hired TSSEs. The Transportation Security Specialist Explosive of the Year is William Shockley. The Federal Air Marshal of the Year Award recipient was selected based on his invaluable contributions to agency operations, training the next generation of Federal Air Marshals at the local and national level, and leading teams in support of the DHS initiatives for Operation Allies Welcome and the Southwest Border. He excelled as an acting supervisory FAMS for San Francisco operations and training, and consistently accepts last-minute high-risk special mission covered flights. He serves as a mission status FAMS, field training officer, and a junction instructor, and is a model leader making measurable contributions to his team. The Federal Air Marshal of the Year is Darren Maxberry. Our Supervisory Air Marshal in Charge of the Year made significant contributions to implement and maintain mission-focused operation in Miami and Orlando field offices. He serves as a trusted advisor to the LEFAM senior leadership team and provided valuable insight to support the development of the LEFAM's roadmap, a long-term strategy to guide future mission operations. In support of Hurricane Ian, he provided critical resources to leaderships to ensure the safety and security of TSA personnel across Florida and Puerto Rico. He placed a high priority to maintain and further develop effective partnerships with DHS law enforcement agencies, as well as state, local law enforcement, and security personnel and stakeholders. The Supervisory Air Marshal in Charge of the Year is Adam Nicky. The supervisory FAMS, or Assistant Supervisory Air Marshal in Charge of their Year award, goes to the LAX Assistant SAC, who has been with LE FAMS for about 17 years. She is responsible for the critical areas of LAX operations, Viper, Joint Terrorism Task Force, and 7 AFSD law enforcement, and numerous mission and central or collateral duties. She revitalized all programs under her supervision and was instrumental in the local preparation and developing DHS operational plan for Super Bowl 56 in Los Angeles. She was selected as the Women Excel at TSA LE-FAM Subcommittee Chair and has led multiple working groups. In 2022, she was honored with the Women in Federal Law Enforcement Outstanding Advocate for Women in Federal Law Enforcement Award for her contribution to recruitment, retention, and promotion of women in law enforcement. The Supervisory FAMS, or Assistant SAC, of the Year is Alana Bell. The Management, Administrative, and Professional of the Year is TSA's Component Acquisition Career Manager, who led TSA's transition to a new acquisition training system, with his efforts positively impacting every one of the 438 TSA acquisition professionals holding DHS certifications. He developed presentations, conducted virtual workshops, and TSA-wide town halls to get the word out. He is an active watchstander with the Critical Incidents Management Group and was instrumental in Ukraine-Russia CIMG-related activities. He drafted a cyber response for acquisition program management and is an active troubleshooter in DHS special projects. The Management, Administrator, and Professional of the Year is John Gatewood. Next, we have our Passenger Support Specialist of the Year, who is a TSO from LAX, who shows her hard work and professionalism through every interaction with passengers, peers, and stakeholders. She is always ready to help any person who needs assistance, but also goes the extra mile to identify individuals who would benefit from the TSA Cares program. Numerous passengers have publicly complimented her for their help they receive. This Passenger Support Specialist of the Year is Elaine Rose Morano. The Security Trainer Inspector of the Year is an expert STSI from Boise, Idaho, and is an innovator who collaborated with TSSEs to develop and implement a new online remediation training tracking tool. She was involved in the covert testing as a member of Idaho's new Threat Detection Action Plan Committee. She is a master trainer who is Idaho's lead training instructor and promotes critical thinking and generates ideas and solutions. Former Secretary, Operation Executive Assistant Administrator Derby LaJoy recognized her with a Certificate of Achievement for her noteworthy actions and innovative thinking. Our Security Training Instructor of the Year is Michelle Redfield. Michelle was unable to attend today's ceremony.
The National Deployment Force Office of the Year is a Colorado LTSO deployed to several different airports to assist their security operations. She was recognized for making 5 good catches while deployed with the National Deployment Force in FY22. She is always very accountable, reliable, dependable, and is willing to assist in any part of the mission on any given day or time. The National Deployment Force is Christine Stewart. Christine was unable to attend today's ceremony. Our Intelligence or Vetting Analyst of the Year is a Supervisory Intelligence Operations Specialist in I&A. She served 2 highly challenging details during FY22, providing exemplary leadership as the acting Deputy Director of the Transportation Analysis Division and Acting Director of the Vetting Analysis Division. In both roles, she gained the trust of peers and leadership across I&A. She stepped up to lead I&A's response to the Russia-Ukraine conflict and championed several improvements in process and technology. The Intelligence or Vetting Analyst of the Year is Christina Chesterfield. Our final Employees of the Year category is Transportation Security Administration Representative of the Year. The senior TSAR served in the Africa Middle East region. He mentored other TSARs and assumed the duties of acting regional director on several occasions. During Operations Allied Refuge and Allied Welcome, he deconflicted flight operations and quickly and effectively established an aviation security screening checkpoint for all evacuees. He often worked 24 continuous hours to ensure TSA's operations were successful. Our Transportation Security Administration Representative of the Year is Daniel McQuaid. Please join me in congratulating all of our Employees of the Year award recipients. Our next category is the Unsung Hero Award. This award recognizes the non-supervisory employee who showcases outstanding performance in administrative and technical support. Awardees make positive, behind-the-scenes contributions to the mission of the organization, agency that would not ordinarily be acknowledged by other types of formal awards. These are often people who are considered a quiet but steady presence in the organization. The important behind-the-scenes contributions are invaluable to the successful mission accomplishments and have a huge impact on the operations of the organization or to TSA. The individuals demonstrate initiative without being prompted, are reliable, persevering, and consistently get the job done. Our first unsung hero is a cargo inspector whose attitude, kindness, dedication, and work ethic and willingness to help others exemplifies the best traditions of public service. She takes the initiative to mentor others and serves as an OJT instructor for new inspectors. She volunteered to give up her Thanksgiving holiday with her family to support the FY22 POTUS screening gateway at Boston Logan International and Nantucket Memorial Airports. She was awarded for being the most unselfish, productive, and team-oriented individual on the New England compliance team. Her contributions carry into her community where, for the last several years, she has purchased 50 boots and 50 jackets for local homeless and women's shelters in Bangor, Maine. She is always one of the first to volunteer during staffing shortages. She is a team player and always willing to help her fellow TSIs. This Unsung Hero Award recipient is Jennifer DeShane. Our next Unsung Hero Award goes to a member of the third-party canine branch who is dedicated to the advancement of that program. He regularly volunteers to create, update, and improve program documents and systems and has sacrificed time at home with his family to ensure the TSA mission is accomplished and that TSA's industry partners are properly serviced. He regularly goes above and beyond to serve wherever he sees a need. He volunteered to team up to conduct the first complete rewrite of the certified program or cargo security program, Canine and third-party canine certifier order. He also volunteered to join the team responsible for the deployment, maintenance, and operation of a multi-million-dollar congressionally mandated data management system on TSA's canine website. This Unsung Hero Award recipient is John Gernot. As a contracting officer representative for the TSA checkpoint contract, our next Unsung Heroes work helps maintain over 12,000 transportation security equipment units at over 430 airports across the country. He ensured checkpoint security detection equipment was maintained at the highest levels. His customer service support and responsiveness are phenomenal, responding to issues at all hours over the weekend, holidays, and while on vacation. He truly exemplified an unsung hero when he rescued 2 people injured in a serious car accident. He quickly pulled his car over, assisted the passenger, pulled the unconscious driver out of the smoking car, and called 911 to get them medical attention. He is always willing to go above and beyond to help people. This Unsung Hero Award recipient is Alan Husted. Next, we honor an unsung hero who we can all appreciate when it comes to our pay. She provided data that highlighted TSA employees have not been compensated at levels of our counterparts across the federal government. She developed a set of calculators to estimate the salary increase for each TSA employee under a new pay system that takes effect in July. She led TSA's pay equity focused data governance team to design the algorithm used to set the calculation rules that will be followed for setting pre and post conversion pay. Behind the scenes, she has been a tireless advocate for ensuring TSA employees are compensated equal to our counterparts in the federal government. This unsung hero is Thuy Lee. Our next designated unsung hero is a field intelligence officer who consistently takes the initiative to gather, analyze, and share intelligence information with the frontline TSA employees, law enforcement agencies, and TSA transportation partners. He plays a direct impact on mitigating potential threats within our nation's transportation systems. He demonstrated his reliability and quiet professionalism during several high-profile TSA assignments to support national special security event operations. He consistently goes above and beyond, routinely providing real-time assistance with all checkpoint incidents to include assisting TSA regulatory while obtaining and corroborating information on individuals for their investigations. This Unsung Hero Award recipient is Michael Mullane. Please join me in congratulating all of our Unsung Hero Award recipients.
The Public Service Award recognizes significant contributions by TSA employees who volunteer with nonprofit or community service programs or activities. Employees' contributions should be direct, sustained, and have meaningful results for individuals or the larger public good. This year, we recognize a team member in TSA Investigations Atlanta Field Office whose volunteer work offers a true sense of who she is as a public servant. For several years, she has partnered with the Georgia Baptist Children's Home to provide learning supplies and clothes donations. She's devoted much of her time away from TSA to help children, youth, and families overcome trauma, stress, and adversity. She partners with Women's Resources and the International Women's House to support women and their families overcome violence, drugs, and other less than desirable circumstances. She readily raises her hand to spearhead the TSA investigation support for the combined federal campaign. She is a stellar example of a distinguished public service in our nation through her service with TSA and her selfless service with her local community. This year's Public Service Award goes to Roxanne Jett. The Blogger Bob Award recognizes an employee or team who positively influenced public engagement by identifying, crafting, promoting, and implementing creative solutions that significantly impacted the traveling public's view in interactions with TSA. Awardees demonstrate sophisticated knowledge of TSA's public relations and communication tools. This award honors the memory of Curtis Bob Burns, who passed away on October 19, 2018, and who succeeded in humanizing the TSA experience by building trust, rapport, and confidence among stakeholders and passengers. I was honored to be named the inaugural recipient of the Blogger Bob Award in 2019, and I'm here today to announce the 2022 winner of this prestigious award. TSA is the designated lead federal agency for UAS incident response and threat mitigation. TSA Connecticut leads a working group of partner agencies that responds to and charts all UAS incidents and conducts preliminary investigations in the state. This team developed a statewide comprehensive strategy to make the public aware of the potential threat that unauthorized drones pose to commercial aviation. They actively engage with the public through safety fairs, school events, and at airports. They built a coalition of law enforcement and military agencies to address a potential threat to airports from UAS activity and determined the best strategy for mitigating these threats would be to engage in outreach activities. TSA Connecticut's actions produced positive results that have reduced the number of UAS incidents in the state. This year's Blogger Bob Award goes to Team Connecticut Cobra UAS Outreach Team. Accepting this award is Stephen Blindberry. The Gerardo Hernandez in the Line of Duty Award recognizes an employee or team distinguishing themselves through bravery, valor, and heroism in the line of duty. Awardees demonstrate heroism and sacrifice during a high-risk, potentially life-threatening situation to save others or minimize danger in either an on- or off-duty setting. This award honors the memory of Transportation Security Officer Gerardo Hernandez, who was slain in the line of duty during a tragic shooting at Los Angeles International Airport on November 1st, 2013. This year's Gerardo Hernandez in the Line of Duty Award goes to Lead Transportation Security Officer from Boise, Idaho, involved in a life-threatening water rescue last summer. LTSO Gavin Gard was inner tubing with his family and friends on the Boise River when all of a sudden he found himself rescuing not just a family, but also a young child. While sitting on a bridge, waiting for the rest of his group to arrive, Gavin saw a man coming down the river holding an empty tube. The empty tube belonged to the man's wife. The couple got separated in strong river currents. Gavin quickly sprang into action, jumping into the water to save the man from going over a waterfall. He then ran along the river to find the woman. After a long search, Gavin found the woman and another member of their party and floated back downstream to the stranded pair who had been in the cold water for nearly 3 hours. After helping them out of the water and while preparing to leave the park area, they all heard a young voice crying for help. A 10-year-old girl with no tube was hanging onto a tree branch. Gavin ran down the steep, rocky embankment into the river, grabbed the child, and carried her ashore. Not only did Gavin risk his own safety to help save others, he regularly displays his dedication and compassion while on duty at Boise Airport. The mayor of Star, Idaho, publicly recognized Gavin for his bravery and heroism. Please join me in congratulating Gavin Gard, the winner of the 2022 Gerardo Hernandez in the Line of Duty Award. The Norman Y. Mineta Cornerstone Award recognizes an employee or team who showed exemplary leadership in helping TSA fulfill its mission despite adversity. The traveling public depends on TSA to be ready, caring, and professional. Exceptional leadership in transportation security can save lives, greatly mitigate the impact of disasters, and lay a lasting cornerstone to a speedy recovery. This awardee reflects great credit upon TSA by markedly improving transportation security in the United States and significantly contributing to an overall improvement in workforce morale. This year's recipient of the Norman Y. Mineta Cornerstone Award answered the call from TSA International Affairs to support a major effort to restore aviation security in Port-au-Prince, Haiti, following the assassination of the Haitian president. This TSA stakeholder manager in Denver is a former TSAR who previously had oversight of aviation security operations in Haiti and was called upon because of his vast experience and knowledge of the country and familiarity with the airport in Port-au-Prince. 3 days after his arrival, the country experienced a magnitude 7.2 earthquake, further adding to the chaotic conditions in the country. For the next 90 days, he worked tirelessly with the U.S. Embassy and National Airport Authority to identify security shortcomings and sought funding for major security improvements to the airport. He served as a catalyst to correct major deficiencies and structural failures and had a profound impact in holding a reeling organization together during difficult times. The U.S. Embassy holds him in high esteem. During this extremely unstable time, this award recipient demonstrated his passion for improving Haiti's airport security and his willingness to be in harm's way despite ongoing threats. His efforts projected a very positive light on TSA in the international arena. This year's Norman Y. Mineta Cornerstone Award goes to Larry Meisel. Congratulations to all recipients. And now please join me in welcoming Administrator Pekoski back to the podium as we bring this year's TSA Honorary Awards program to a close.
Well, I told you that would be a humbling experience, and it definitely is. And I really just want to congratulate everybody that won awards this year. I mean, it just, like I said earlier, it really represents the best in us. Now, it's just like we've got the majority of our award recipients off to my right, your left. If I could just ask everybody to stand to give them all a standing ovation. And then, as I'm standing here, I've got this book in front of me that's, as you can see, is pretty thick, and we've watched our 4 MCs go through this book in an incredibly professional manner. And I'd just like all 4 of you to stand up and to recognize them for... Great emceeing and definitely a team effort, so thank you all very much. Lastly, I'd like to recognize the Metropolitan Washington Area Airports Authority. They provided us the space. They are our partners in the Washington area at Dulles and at Ronald Reagan Airport. I really appreciate their support. I would like to recognize John Bush and his team at DCA Airport, who also were great assists to us this afternoon. This is my favorite event of the year. This year did not disappoint at all, and I really thank all of you for attending, and really just to highlight our Strategic Comms and Public Affairs team. They've captured this ceremony in great professionalism. I know all of our award recipients will appreciate getting a photographic memory of this experience today, as will all of we. So thank you to SCPA once again. Thank you. And thank you all for attending. Take care.